Okay, Dad. So what this little interview thing is going to be based on is I will be asking you questions about how your political views are shaped based on these questions and where you pretty
Okay.
much, just pretty much, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Well, it starts with basics. Okay, so the first question is what do you think it means to be an American, and what do Americans believe in?
I think to be an American is to be concerned about your community, try to help other people, and to try to live with the values that we as Americans have: freedom, equality, liberty.
Okay. You said freedom, equality, and what?
Liberty.
Liberty. Okay. Um, how did you learn that? Like, where'd you start to get the basic idea of that question of what is it really to be an American? Where'd you first really learn to grasp it?
I think most of all from your grandma,
Okay.
who believe that you serve your community. No matter what you do, you take care of your fellow citizens, you look out for them, and try to be the best you can.
Okay. Like that one. Okay. Oops. Let's see. So if you took like a survey on any survey, to see where your political views would fall under, do you think that your current view on politics would stand?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
For example, we had this survey. Find it. Yes, this survey. We did this survey. If you did that for yourself, would you see yourself as, the same views? Like if I did there's like a special how you gather the points and stuff, and how it will show you if you're more moderate to liberal to conservative. Do you think you would still be under the same? What would be the right way to say it?
I think I would be moderate.
Moderate.
Yeah, I think I've become more conservative as I've gotten older. I used to be very liberal. I'm much more conservative now.
And do you agree that? Well, it's not really an agreeing question. Why do you think many millions of Americans tend to start off one and they start to slowly shift towards another? That's just an off-topic question I wanted to ask.
I think that you know most young people tend to be more liberal just because they believe in freedom and that people should have their own choice and people should be able to do what they want. I think as you get older, you kind of start to see that some people can't totally be trusted to do the things that they need to do, and they need some, for example, law and order to keep them in line. And I think you just become more conservative as you get older. I think also when you become a parent, you have something to protect, and you want to make sure that you live in a safe town and on safe streets and things like that. And that tends to make you a little more conservative. I think that just generally people tend to get more conservative as they get older. I know I have.
Okay. Okay. The next question is, what's one specific belief you hold that fits with the economical? What's your view on the economical point in America? What's your view on that? How should the United States be really? Do you think you should be? Are you conservative towards economical, or are you more liberal when it comes to economics, and why?
I think I'm more moderate. I believe in a free market economy, but I also believe that we have to protect the less fortunate, and so I think there does need to be some government involvement in economic issues.
Mhm. Do you have any experience with one person that you think, well, in this case, grandma, pretty much, that like, what's like, it's pretty much asking what is the experience that you had when you first really start to hold your belief on stuff? Like, do you remember any of those experiences with grandma or anything?
Well, I grew up during Watergate,
Okay.
and obviously Nixon was a Republican. And so that kind of candidly started to turn me off to the Republican Party, and it kind of just grew from there.
Okay.
I think that was the formative thing, growing up during Watergate.
Okay. What is your big thing about social? Like, what's your big idea of social ideology? And do you, like, what is your thoughts of like social issues? Like, do you tend to be more?
I tend to be much more liberal
Liberal?
on social issues. I believe in freedom of choice in a lot of different areas for people.
Okay, that's good.
Like who they marry, what they do with their bodies, that sort of thing.
Okay, yeah. The next question was, what's one specific belief you have that fits the social? So, like for example, gay marriage,
I support the right of same-sex marriage.
same-sex marriage,
That's probably the biggest social issue right now.
and you believe that they can get married at anywhere they want, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's okay. Okay. Let's see. And it asks the same question. Like, for this, like, let's just use the same-sex marriage topic. Was there, it says which one experience or person that you influenced you to hold that belief on it? Was that more of your, thought that it was more you, or was it influenced by somebody else, or, like, did you know anybody to?
I think they just came to that on my own. I believe that love is love, and if two people love each other, they should be allowed to get married, whether they're a man and a woman, a man and a man, or a woman and a woman.
Let me read this last question.
Peace to you, my husband.
How much do you think you have an influence on the life that believes, not understanding America, how things happen? Okay, so the last question, I'm just going to read what it says.
Okay.
It says, how much do you think you have influence on my, not be me, political beliefs and my understanding of what it means to be an American? How do you think this happened, and how much did you try to influence my beliefs?
The only thing, you and I have very different political views, I think. You're much more conservative. You're obviously much more affiliated with the Republican Party than I am. The only thing I've ever tried to teach you is just to be, what I learned, again, mostly from Grandma, is to be socially and politically involved and to actually, pay attention to political issues and make your own decision as to what you believe. And that's what I'll always tell you, is you need to make up your own mind. I'm not going to tell you I'll tell you what I think, but I'm never going to tell you what I think you should think.
Okay. Well, that's it, Dad.
All right.
Yeah.
Got what you need?
Yep, I got all the questions. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. Thanks, Daddy.
Well, thank you. Enjoyed talking to you.
Yeah.
Hey, Mom.